If I gave you $5,000 right now and told you to go buy Pokemon cards, most people would lose money within 6 months. Not because they're dumb, but because they buy what feels safe instead of what is actually safe. So today, I'm doing the part that no one ever shows you. I'm not going to show you chase cards, and I'm not showing you nostalgia bait. I'm going to show you the exact cards that I would buy, what I would pay, why, and the rule that keeps you from turning $5K into a pile of cardboard regret. In my last video, I showed you why some chase cards cost tens of thousands of dollars to pull. Not because they're beautiful, not because they're popular, but because the math makes pulling them completely irrational. So then the logical question becomes, if you don't rip packs, then what do you actually buy? Now, before I show you the cards, you need the rules or the criteria and how I pick these. No pack ripping, there's not going to be any graded cards, liquidity matters, and the cards need to be in light play to near mint condition. So today, 6 plays, different eras, different risk levels, but one simple goal, and that's to give you multiple ways to win. In slot number 1 is your anchor card, and this is the one that you're probably going to end up spending the most money on. For my anchor card, I picked the Lugia First Edition from Neo Genesis. This card is going to be your vintage stabilizer because modern sets are just way too emotional. The Neo Genesis Lugia is also incredibly iconic, and if you're looking to get a light play to near mint copy of a first edition from a reputable seller, you're going to pay about $1,600 for this card. And since we're doing only raw copies, if you're going to be dropping this kind of money, you really want to know what you're doing and what you're looking for when you're looking at these raw cards, or take someone with you who does know. In slot number 2, you want to have an extension of your anchor card, another card that has real scarcity. And I picked the Charizard EX from Fire Red and Leaf Green. An ungraded copy of this card, it's going to be difficult to find, but that's also why it needs to be on the list. Through the research that I did, it's going to be really hard to find a raw copy online, and I'm not even sure that you want to find a raw copy online. This is one you want to scour your local card shows, your local card shops, Facebook Marketplace, but again, you really got to know what you're doing and watch out for fakes. Since there aren't a lot of recent sales of this copy online that I can find, I'm going to use pricing for a PSA 8 because that's pretty close to near mint. And the max that I think that you should pay for this card raw near mint is around $1,100. You really want to stick to that $900 to $1,100 for this card. If you can get it cheaper than that, you're way ahead. But this Charizard from this EX era has real scarcity. It has a low population. It's from a print run that's already been done and finished, and it would be really easy to resell. Next, in slot number 3, you want your asymmetric upside card. This is the only card that I allowed any risk on. I chose the Gengar VMAX from Fusion Strike. And I know it's not the hardest card to pull in the set. I know the Espeon VMAX is 1.5 times as hard to pull. And the Mew VMAX is twice as hard to pull. But I chose Gengar because Gengar has an irrationally strong fan base. Also, the PSA 10 population, it's been slowing down. And if you've been watching the price of Fusion Strike over the past year, it's been on an upward trend. And I think that that trend is just going to keep on going, which means that more and more people are going to stop opening packs and start keeping it sealed. My 4th pick is going to be the unlimited base set Charizard. And that's because this one's just a safe bet. Charizard has crazy mass appeal. And the reason I chose the unlimited Charizard is because the first edition Charizard is too prone to price spikes. Ever since I got into collecting back in 2017, this card has jumped all over the place. And that's why I think that the unlimited Charizard is the safe play here, because you're not going to overpay for it. You're going to park your money there and you're just going to watch it slowly accumulate. In spot number 5, I picked the Mewtwo GX from Shining Legends. And the biggest reason that I picked this card is because everybody loves the test tube Mewtwo. It has instant liquidity. You can sell this card anytime. Also, it's because Mewtwo is an evergreen Pokemon character. There is always hype surrounding Mewtwo, and Mewtwo has a huge fan base. And with this card being a shiny secret rare, it's a shiny plus a legendary Pokemon and a short print set. So this one, I think, is a very safe play. So when Charizard is stealing the spotlight, Mewtwo is quietly compounding. And right now, you can still find copies of this card for around $450 in near mint condition, and that keeps it in a lot of people's budgets. And finally, in the number 6 slot, I've got Umbreon EX from Unseen Forces. Near mint copies of this card are selling for about $1,000 raw. And the reason why I put this one in the lineup is because this is another card that's from a lower print run set. This EX era plus Umbreon, it has permanent demand. And at $1,000, I still think it's underpriced compared to the modern Umbreons. So here's the breakdown of the cards that I would go get if you gave me $5,000 right now. And if you're good at hunting deals, you can tighten this number up even more. This isn't the portfolio that's going to win overnight, but it is one that will work after all this modern hype dies down. Now compare this to opening packs. After opening packs, you ask, what did I hit? After buying singles, you ask, what do I own? Pack opening is fun, but singles, they're what build your collection. And if your goal is for your collection to gain value, those are the cards that I would pick. Here's the part that most people miss. None of these cards are guarantees. But what I think is guaranteed is that in 5 years, people are going to say that these were the obvious buys. The difference between collectors who win and the collectors who don't isn't access, it's timing. You're not going to make big gains buying what everyone agrees on. But this is exactly how I would spend $5,000 today. If you'd buy something different or switch one of these cards out or all of these cards, explain why down in the comments. Because I love seeing where other collectors' heads are at and what their thought process is. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.